I'm Ray.
I'm Candace.
And welcome to Unpacking Coffee this week
40 weight.
Of Outer Ithaca, New York.
Syracuse, on the outskirts of Ithaca.
Couple of buddies, Andrew and Matthew, that moved to the city to start roasting coffee. Couple of buddies with a 5-kilo roaster they put in a camper. They started to roast there. Couple of buddies with tattoos and stubble. They're slightly unshaven but very lovable. A couple of buddies with no retail location. It's mostly wholesale, stuff in the mail.
Apparently those places are so close that their hands could be in one place. A couple of buddies.
Outskirts of Ithaca,
New York.
They're on the outskirts.
Or Syracuse.
Why
don't we start with their story? There were a couple of buddies. One of them was actually from Bellingham, right?
Totally.
Mm-hmm. So they settled in New York, and after...
So they were living on opposite coasts. Two buddies, $8,000. That's all it took. So Andrew and Matt. And you know what? We talked to them both, and they told us a little bit about how they got started.
My name's Matthew Marks. I'm one of the owners of 40 Weight Coffee Roasters.
My name's Andrew Ballard. I am also one of the owners and primary roaster for 40 Weight Coffee Roasters. So I moved here from Seattle about 6 years ago. I had just graduated from college. I wasn't ready to get a job with my degree, and I had gotten really interested in coffee while I was out in Seattle. I had started roasting a bit. So when I moved here, I bought a 1970s camper, bought a $5,000 coffee roaster, renovated the camper and put the coffee roaster inside and started our company.
After graduate school, I was kind of bouncing around some odd jobs here and there. The economy kind of fell apart in 2008. We were offered kind of a shared space, a cafe, so to speak, in a Brooklyn location right down the street from me. And I ended up kind of running that operation and then formally partnering up with Andrew. We don't own and operate any cafe anymore. We left that location in early 2013. So it was about 2-year kind of experiment, if you will. We left it of our own volition, and we kind of pivoted and shifted gears to more of just a wholesale model, which has proven to be much easier, much more lucrative, and just much more versatile than just having a brick and mortar store, which sucks out all of your resources, time, you name it.
So 40 weight is a term that truckers use on the CB radio to talk about coffee.
It's like an old term for coffee. It's meant to be fairly abstract. People aren't supposed to know what it means.
And so their original packaging was oil, because 40 weight is a type of oil.
Which I actually still really like. The bag quality isn't what it needs to be. And then our second version is that there, which I thought was a pretty cool bag. It was a good step for us.
Their current packaging, which you can see we've kind of torn into, it kind of ticks all the boxes in the checklist for things that we love in packaging. They use a hand-sewn patch. They have these nice labels showing the varietal. They have a hot stamp on the back that's sort of like, in this case, it's reflective on the craft bag, but it's kind of different on the different bags.
We toyed with the idea of just having random art on the back, having nothing to do with coffee. But then we decided for this first round that we would do, hand-drawn art that has to do with coffee. In the future, we're going to continue expanding that and keep doing rotating art on the back. It may be coffee-related in the future, it may not be, but we like the idea of kind of having something cool to look at every time you buy a bag of coffee.
So they brought in an illustrator who is a tattoo artist, and he does custom illustration for them. And so it's pretty cool, like all of their packaging has different illustrations on it.
Another thing that they talked about a little bit when you chatted with them was social media.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have a pretty strong social media presence, pretty opinionated in their Twitter, so I give him a little bit of a hard time about that.
Oh no, that's real. That's him. That's not a.
Matt yells at me every time I send a tweet that could be perceived as offensive.
Yeah, no, that's real.
And that is actually pretty darn refreshing to see.
40 weight coffee roasters of New York.